Anacondas are rarely seen and normally live deep in the jungle. But with urban sprawl encroaching on their habitat, they've started to appear in towns. I've just been contacted by the regional fire department, who are regularly brought in to remove anacondas from people's backyards. And they're allowing me to ride shotgun on an emergency call-out. An anaconda was found during a soccer match. Somebody kicked the ball out of play. They went after it into the long grass. And that was the snake to see. This 12-foot anaconda is capable of squeezing a child to death and could swallow prey the size of a dog. Although the head looks small, an anaconda can separate the two sides of its lower jaw, enabling it to engulf animals with a much greater girth than itself. A 20-foot anaconda could swallow a man. But confronting one at any size is something I'd normally avoid. The snake has to be caught and relocated. And I've talked the fire department and myself into an impromptu. What's going on, everybody? Exercise. I'm hoping that by getting hands-on, I can ease myself into the challenge of facing something that could be nearly twice as long as this one. Just looking at it up close now, it's in the process of molting its skin. The scales are falling off. Even the layer over its eyes is peeling off. This is what it all looks like. Blind. It makes up for this vulnerability with added aggression. Yeah, that's a little bit of a strike. What's going on? I can't pronounce your name, buddy. I'm sorry. A moment's hesitation, and it could turn and nail me. Right. I've got it. I possibly need to grab it a little bit closer to the head. And what I want to avoid it doing is getting its body around my arm. Because if that happens, what can happen, it can actually restrict the blood flow. And my hand will eventually go numb and then let go. I can see the teeth on the mouth. They're like the barbs on a fish hook. They're pointing backwards. Basically, if that bites you, it's going to be very hard to get that off. It keeps trying to throw a coil around my body. Oh, excuse me. Follow-up to this is squeezing the victim to. Apologize for that. I just got done eating some Wendy's and stop it from wrapping around. Makes me belch a little bit. I can feel my arms start to weaken. So before the anaconda gets the better of me, I drop it in a transport container. It will now be taken deep into the jungle and far away from any people to be released. The next morning, I meet up with snake expert Hippocrates Chalkidis. I'm going to help him release the anaconda back into the jungle. Let's just watch out for this. This is good habitat for anaconda. There's also the likelihood of viperous feral snakes here as well. Overnight, it shed most of its skin. It now looks very different. It's much hotter than yesterday, so this anaconda will be much more active. I have to be on my guard. Before it escapes, I want to feel how strong it is today. I'm just trying to go. Speak forward. it quickly has me in a vice-like grip. What I need to do somehow is actually try. I don't know how many of y'all been here, but making a Pygraph whiskey barrel bar. So they'll have a full wrap going all the way around it with the wildlife. This hand out. Look at that. I'm trying to release my hand. She's absolutely got that. Absolutely got that. She's totally wrapped around it. Okay. There. Right, head is let's put her head down there. There. Once released, it makes a dash for the water, where anacondas feel most at home. Fear of snakes is hardwired into all of us, so allowing one to wrap around me went against my deepest instincts. But as anacondas go, that was just a small one. And this investigation won't be complete until I encounter an anaconda big enough not just to kill me, but also to swallow me whole. Neville shares with me the result of his early morning bait fishing.
We have 4 species of fish here. Silverfish, yakutu, piranha, and daly.
Go with half a fish to start?
This here,
Let's do that. I'm here to catch an elusive giant, but I'm not getting far. There's very little doing. There's nothing doing. There's nothing really to keep that hope alive at the moment. Escaping the afternoon sun, I head back to camp. But on the way, spot 2 of my guides on a sandbar. They have made an unusual discovery. And this piece here, this is, in its own right, it's a bit of a river monster, this river turtle. This is only a medium-sized one. It's an air breather. It lives practically all its life under the water. Not that common to see these. They come up, they just poke their nose to the surface and then go down again. So it's quite nice to see one out in the open. But I must be extremely careful. I know from previous experience that turtles can take you by surprise. The last thing I want is to lose my fingers to those powerful jaws. Can I feel how heavy it is? I appreciate that, Dart Vager. The safest place to get a secure grip is on the shell behind the head. That's a heavy animal. That's heavy. Oh, I don't know what that is. It's a good, 60 pounds or something. Oh, not to my back much. Go on and put it back down. It might kick off once it hits the ground. Oh. This animal is actually very eager to get back in the water. It's very powerful limbs. Those clawed hands, they're almost a bit like a tank, this thing. One reason we want to get this back is because it's actually eaten throughout the Amazon. It's considered a delicacy. People spend all their time feeding on fish. It's a very welcome change. It gets pretty hard to get into, but it's very sought after meat. So this back in water where it's going to be safe. You can actually go now. I'm going to pop around the other side. Go on then. That's impressive how they can go from being immobile to that sudden burst of speed. Right into the water. Well, thanks so much. Thank you. If I can't get into the park, I'm going to have to go it alone in the forest around its border. Here, I'll need to keep my wits about me. We've got a sort of a palm print, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Here again. Palm, 1, 2, 3, 4. So going that way, there is actually an active manager around at the moment. About, I think it's 5 people in the last couple of months have been taken. But this is where I have to fish. This water is actually very different from the water I was expecting to fish. Down the lake, it's muddy, it's still. Here, shallow, moving fast, and clear. Now, fly fishing is one method I was going to use down there, but here, I don't know, it's possibly most appropriate, so that's what I'm trying. There's a record of a 70-pound serang that was caught in this river. There might just be another giant lurking here. But I need to outsmart them by presenting a lifelike lure in all the likely hiding places. That was a fish. But while I'm intent on other dangers are patrolling the shores. Working on this tree coming out the water there. Wild elephants. There's a couple of elephants that have just gone past behind here very quietly, very quickly. In India, elephants kill more than 400 people each year. I need to keep my distance. Don't really want to see them too close. And when I'm fishing, I tend to be very much normally focused on what's in front of me. But here, it's definitely a case that you need eyes in the back of your head. If this pair charged, they would be on top of me in seconds. While asking around about any recent caiman sightings, I'm told fishermen recently lassoed a giant. It's now being held at a research facility, which might give me the access I need to test whether caimans could cause so much carnage in one night. So it's captured in an area where people live, where people get in the water, they wash. Yep. By the end of this thing, I'll have probably about close to 400 or 500 hours into it. But it's going to be beautiful. To lasso it, it's going to stay here for a little while, and then it's going to be released. It's going to be released in a reserve where it's not going to come and bother people on the waterfront. There's no doubt caimans attack humans. But how would they account for the huge number of missing passengers? Either there was a massive number of caimans at Abydos that night, or each predatory reptile was taking down one passenger after another. To test the multiple victim theory, I'm under the supervision of a reptile vet, and I'm scaling up my line and bait, big time, to trigger a first strike. Now I have its undivided attention. I'm just trying to see how motivated it is to hang on to that meal. I've used pig as bait, as I'm told its flesh tastes very similar to human. I don't think that's a grip that's very easily broken. This beast's instinct is to hold on to its prey at all costs. Why would they risk losing a catch by attacking multiple people in a matter of minutes? Time to cut and run, and find out about the other theory. In a river as vast as the Amazon, could there have been hundreds of caimans in the area when the boat went down? Anselmo de Fonseca has studied their populations in the wild.
Óbidos é que é a área mais estreita do Rio Amazonas.
So the thing about Abydos is that the river there is, by Amazonian standards, it's narrow, there's a strong current, and this isn't the preferred habitat of caiman.
Mas normalmente as áreas preferenciais são áreas mais calmas.
They prefer calm water, they prefer backwaters, lakes.
Realmente tem uma grande ocorrência de jacarés naquele ponto.
So he says it's very unlikely that they would come close to a city, close to people. They don't tolerate caiman. So at the time of the boat disaster, caiman numbers were very low. This knocks them off the top contender spot. When it comes to river monsters, it's an incredibly elite few that have the potential to devour a person. But can a monster Lau really be capable of swallowing a person whole? Never have I wanted to catch one more. But as I try to drift off, I hear something moving outside my tent. I realize I'm not alone. Some crashing around. sun rises, whatever it was is long gone. But I'm intrigued and concerned enough that I decide to rig camera traps at the edge of camp. I place 3 at different angles, looking out over the water's edge. Leaving the traps positioned and primed, Neville and I set out onto the water and find another deep pool with sonar. At daybreak, we head back to camp. My thoughts turn to the camera traps that I've left near my hammock to investigate the noises that have been waking me at night. It's definitely fine. It's definitely some action in this. So it all is. What is that? Oh, good grief. And there was a flash of open mouth and teeth. And there's a cane. This is a point of view of having your face bitten by one of these things. Quite disturbing. It's got something in its mouth. Just a few bites, that's it, it's gone. Oh, what's going on there? There's other eyes in the background. Oh, gosh. That's incredible. No wonder I've been hearing noises. My hammock is just a little way in that direction. Right. Maybe I shouldn't hang around here too long. The Black Caiman's intrusion into camp is a sobering reminder of the dangers in this wild place. I'm glad to make my way back onto the water. The Formosa River is where I'm looking for an anaconda, big enough to swallow a man. Most rivers here are murky, but this one has a degree of visibility. My plan is to go beneath the surface. I'll be out of my element and more likely to stumble into something at very close range, so I'm carrying a knife. What we about this is the point. If you actually get that into the inside of the coil, that will stop it exerting that lethal pressure. My boat driver is Juka. He knows the river well. We arrive at a good spot for me to get in the water. I'm now in the anaconda's domain, and immediately I feel vulnerable. All I have to do now is find a monster. If I run into trouble down here, my only connection to the surface is the radio link in my mask. Recent rains have stirred up the water. Visibility is down to just a couple of yards. The current has become dangerously fast. Well, the only way I'm managing to hold position at the moment is actually hanging onto this rock here. And if I wanted to go upstream, there's just no way I'd make any headway without pulling myself along. If I come across an anaconda in these conditions, as things are, I'm probably going to blunder into it. In this murk, my heart is racing. Down here, there's nowhere for me to hide. I can be grabbed from any direction at any moment. I can't see it. It's possible it might see me. Suddenly, I see something appear out of the gloom. It's coming down! It's coming down! It's coming down! just a few feet of visibility. The only camera that picks it up is the one fixed to my tank. Right next to it. I'm right next to it. I'm with it. I'm with the snake. Fighting against the current, I'm only able to stay with it for a few seconds. Then it simply vanishes. Oh, I might have lost it. I think we've lost it. It just vanished in a matter of seconds. So it was just a very short, intense experience of seeing an anaconda now in its own environment. Very, very creepy feeling encountering the snake underwater. That anaconda was about the same length as the one I caught on the soccer field. A 12-footer is a good start, but I know there are giants here. I've got to head even deeper into the anaconda's territory. Thurlal's terrifying encounter happened downstream, inside a national park where no one is allowed to live. I need permission to go there. At the park office, the ranger warns me about potential dangers on the Babai River. So the water was all the way up to the bridge, to the road? Just 2 years ago, there was a massive flood. Few people have ventured here since. To help me navigate safely downstream, I'm assigned 2 guides. All right, man, for y'all two watching, y'all be sure to subscribe. It really helps me out. Let's show y'all this thing in full one more time. And I might have to take myself to bed, man. Unfortunately. 4 a.m. comes early. I think this could be a good position to fish from. Yeah, bring a lot of authority. So the inside, I'll sand all that down and everything, and it'll have a Lazy Susan on the bottom, a Lazy Susan about right here for storing all your liquor. Then I'll have some LED lights in it. But main feature is this fully wrapped pyrograph. Flooded timber with only mallards, as requested. That big tree right there is going to be about the halfway point. And then we still got this side to fill in right here. But it's coming along nicely. Right now we're about 3 weeks in, and hopefully get this thing done here soon. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate the comments, the likes. Y'all have a good night, and God bless you, buddies. The underwater geography of the